Praise God, Easy Street Preacher here. Just want to intro this video, and I got to start this by making a retraction. I have talked about the remarks that were made in a sermon that was posted on the internet for a while, a sermon that was made on December 8th, where a hadith was quoted talking about killing Jews. Okay, the mosque that I've been preaching at, the imam there did not make those remarks. The person who made those remarks is not even an imam, and it wasn't made at the building that I preach outside of. So I just want to make a full retraction of that. I've made that statement in the past that the imam at that particular mosque had made those remarks. He didn't make those remarks, and in fact, they've condemned those remarks. So I just want to put that out there. I wanted to actually speak to the imam today and actually apologize in person, but it just didn't work out. So, but I just want to put that out there. And as to what's going to be happening the next couple of weeks, I'm on vacation. So what better way to spend the vacation but by street preaching? So beginning of next week, I won't actually be preaching, but I'll be doing an interview up in Denver. I do cover your prayers because I don't fly very well. I'm not really scared of flying. It's not very comfortable for me. But I decided not to drive to Denver, and so I'm gonna be flying up there, and then shortly after that, I'll be going to New Orleans. Now, there will be some films, videos of New Orleans. There may not be any films of the actual SOPA conference or the Mardi Gras preach. In fact, I may not even preach. I'm just going to put myself, under their authority and say, look, what needs to be done, I'll do. I'll let them know I have a camera, but I'm not going to make any kind of stipulations on them like, well, I got my camera here, and you've got to tape me preaching, this much time, and all this kind of. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm just going to say, I'm here, whatever needs to be done, I'm going to do. And if it's sitting there holding the banner the whole time, I'll hold the banner the whole time. That's why I'm there. But there will be some preaches after the conference that probably will be taped. And I'm just looking really forward to going down there to New Orleans and, being there at Mardi Gras. But anyway, that's what's going to be happening shortly. So, here's the video. Like I say, I retract all those remarks that where I talked about the imam there making those, he didn't do it, but I still got some time to preach. So here's the video. Okay, back in the belly of the beast. I was out here a couple weeks ago and didn't get my answers. I heard today is the best day to come out here, so I will come out here today and see if I can get my answers. Very simple. I'll try to stay close to the camera this time. I know last time I was out here, it's kind of hard to hear at both preaches. One thing could have been the snow, but of course there's no snow out here today. It's just cold. But I'll try to stay as close to the camera as I can. So I gotta keep an eye on the camera. Make sure the wind doesn't carry it away. Hello, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
Out here to protest.
For?
The Islamic Center.
Why?
Well, one, they're not preaching the gospel.
Okay.
Number two, the imam in there is preaching death to the Jews. So I just wanted to explain why he's preaching that. Because it was a televised sermon on December 8th. And I want to know why he's preaching that. Because salvation is of the Jews.
Okay. Is there any way you could wait until the kids are done getting out of school to do that?
It's not like I'm out here, showing nudie pictures or anything. I'm just out here to preach the gospel.
No, I understand. It's just that, this is a school and there are kids here, and it'd be, courteous to the children if we could just wait until school is over at least.
Well, if you train a child up in the way he should go, he won't depart from it. I should be out here preaching this. Because I got the right way.
Would you do that at like a Wake County public school or anything like that?
Preach at the school? I haven't yet, but you never know.
Mm-hmm.
I have preached at the college once.
Mm-hmm.
You never know.
Gotcha. I'm Officer Lazaro, by the way.
Okay.
I work here. Keep the school safe and all that kind of thing.
Okay.
Kind of like a school resource officer. Your name? Philip Brown?
Yes.
Okay. Nice to meet you, Mr. Brown.
I've been out here twice before.
Yeah, I've heard from the staff in the school. She's been out here before. I just figured I'd come over, chat, see what was going on, just check on you, make sure everything was cool. Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm here for peace too. I'm just peaceful, but I gotta preach the truth.
I got you. You got a right to be out here on the sidewalk, but just don't come inside the gates, okay?
Okay.
Appreciate it.
EC Street Preacher out here today to preach the gospel and to ask why it is being preached. And that building right there, Death to Jews. I was out here a couple weeks ago and didn't really get an answer, but that's okay. That's okay, because a lot of snow on the ground. And I can understand why somebody would not want to come out in the snow and come out and talk to me. We don't have any snow today. It is a little cold. I'm bundled up for that. I want to know why death to Jews is being preached here when Jesus himself said in John chapter 4, verse 22, for salvation is of the Jews. Jesus, who is claimed to be a prophet here, said salvation is of the Jews, so why would you want to preach death to them? Now, I don't want to be quoted, I don't want to be taken as spreading fake news or anything like that. So I will give the exact quote. I am commanded by the Bible, by the gospel, to speak the truth. So I'm going to speak the truth here today. And just read a quote that was spoken in this building by your imam on December 8th, 2017. This was a taped sermon, posted, and then deleted soon after that. I don't know why. But it's a taped sermon. And I quote, the prophet gave us glad tidings that at the end of time we will fight those Jews until the rocks and the trees will speak. O Muslim, this is a Jew behind me. The hadith continues to say, come and kill him. Now the hadith that is being quoted here is Sahih. It's from Sahih Muslim, book 41. Number 6985. So you look that up at your own leisure, do your own research. I'm tempted to believe, though, that if that hadith was spoken of here, that there's some kind of acceptance of that hadith as sahih, that's sahih hadith. As you know, sahih means that it has been recognized by some of the highest Muslims to be authentic. And I have a problem with that. I'd like to know if there's any kind of explanation as to why that hadith was quoted here, when my Bible tells me salvation is of the Jews. My Bible was written by Jews. Jesus himself was a Jew. So why would you want this kind of death to Jews being preached here? So I'm open to any kind of discussions that want to happen here. Yes, hatred, exactly. Why are we having hatred of Jews being preached here? Why is that hatred here? That's what I want to know.
How you know it's hatred, man? You heard the message?
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Why is hatred of Jews being preached here?
You ain't hear the message. You propaganda.
Propaganda?
Yeah, you know what that means. You propaganda. When you don't know something, you just start speaking out about it.
That's why I'm here. I'm here to find out the explanation.
You already have a preset notation that's already off, so you have to come and have to start from the beginning to get understanding. Otherwise, you're coming with a propaganda mind.
I don't know. That seems like a cop-out to me. Like I say, I'm open to an explanation.
All right, that's good. That's good. Miriam, and then Miriam. Yeah, I got it. Miriam.
Because the first time I was here, I was well received, and I had a good talk inside there, and
Nothing's changed.
and I praised the Muslims here when I was here before, and said, we got treated better here than when I preached at my old church. My old Christian church, they treated me worse than the Muslims here treated me. And I made sure that I praised you guys for that.
Yeah, but don't. People are people. Everybody makes mistakes. If you blame a person for a whole religion, you're making a mistake yourself. I was raised Christian. I seen things in the Christian church that make sense, right? I went to Catholic school, seen things that didn't make sense.
Catholic,
Catholic, Baptist, Pentecostal.
Okay.
I went to every denomination you can name. I studied it at college. It's just when you stereotype one group and put that's where the problems start with everybody. Come on. Yeah.
Some parents are not picking up. They didn't hear the name.
I'm dead.
That was pretty good talk going on there. I am more than open to discussion. If anybody has seen my videos, they know I don't shout anybody down. I give them a chance to speak their mind. Watch any one of my videos, and if you can find where I didn't give somebody their say, especially from another faith, another religion, which I'm not very happy with religion, I gotta tell you. To me, religion's all about traditions of men. So I'm not a big fan of religion. But when I was here, they wanted to speak their mind. I let them. When I was outside the pagan store and the disciple of Odin came out, I questioned him and asked him about his religion. So I'm always open to discussions. So when I hear about that hadith being preached here, I had to come back and say what's going on, because I got a different take on that. I'm not sure that I believe that rocks and trees at the end of time will say that there's a Jew behind them so that Muslims can come and kill them. See, I didn't get that kind of feeling when I was here the first time. And of course, the second time I was here, nobody really told me at all. But like I said, there was a lot of snow on the ground, so I don't blame anybody for not coming out and speaking to me that day. That's why I came back. I'm out here today to say that salvation is of the Jews. Surah 3, Ayah 1. Have we not handed down to you the Torah and the Gospel, which are of the Jews? The Torah and the Gospel were written by Jews. Jesus himself was a Jew. So, that's just why I'm out here today. Salvation is such a good thing. Salvation is such a good thing. It's not guaranteed in Islam, unless you die in jihad. But salvation is guaranteed in the Christian faith. It's a guarantee. The Prophet Muhammad was not sure, and I'm not misquoting him, I'm not making him look bad, but Muhammad himself said he wasn't sure that he would be saved, that he would enter into paradise. His right-hand man, the second caliph, Abu Bakr, said, if I have 1 foot in paradise, I still would not be sure that I would enter in. But I'm here to tell you today that by the Jew, Jesus Christ, you have guaranteed salvation. If you repent and accept the atonement that he gave for you on the cross, you will be sure to go to heaven. Sure. Because of the Jews. So, like I say, I'm open to discussions, rebuttals. I've read the quote. I know about the hadith. I just wanted to discuss that today. I wanted a discussion. This is not intended to be a monologue. It's not intended to be that way. If I got to do a monologue, I'll do a monologue. But yes, I invite questions and discussion. I would like for it to be explained to me. Because the way I was treated the first time I was here would make me think that that would never be spoken from that building. In that building. A taped sermon. I would have never guessed that would be spoken in that building. So I'm just out here to get an explanation for that. So far I got is that it would take a long time. Well, I got 2 batteries. I got a nice big card here. And I would love that. I would love that. I mean, I just want to hear about that. Where's the tolerance for the Jews? When my Bible, my gospel, says that salvation is from the Jews. Gospel of John written by Jews. So also, I love to preach the gospel as well today. To preach the gospel of Jesus Christ, who is the Son of God. He shed his blood for you. He took a crown of thorns in his head for you. He was scourged for you. Scourging is one of the worst things you can have happen to you. When a whip with pieces of bone and metal is being raked across your back, and ribbons of your skin hangs down to your knees. He took that for you, and he was crucified for you. Let's give him that. Give it a few minutes here. Standing here for a little bit. I got a feeling I'm going to be ignored again. Did get a minor discussion with someone that works here, I guess. Tied in with the school. The school's letting out right now. And, hey, I preach for everybody, you know? I preach for everybody. Do your own research. The hadith that was quoted from that building was Sahih Muslim, book 41, number 6985. Do your own research. And I'm quoting from the sermon given in that building on December 8th of last year. So it was a taped sermon. Now that post has since been deleted. Doesn't help your case any. But I'm willing to hear it out. I'm willing to hear it out.
أول شيء بس نجمع له يوم يعني لا أكو يوم هنا عشان لما يجيب كرسي يجيب.
I, for one, love Jews, the state of Israel. I thank God we have a president who recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. It's long overdue. I would like to see that kind of sentiment preached here as well. Did have a small crowd, just a lot of people here now. Just let it run for a while. Just kind of stand here. Do you want guaranteed salvation? It's not dying in jihad. Come over to the Bible. About the Bible, I'm willing to answer them. What the Quran says, if you have questions, ask the people of the book. Your own Quran states that. And I'm looking for An explanation. Salvation is of the Jews, but then death to Jews is being preached in that building. I'd like to know why. If salvation is from the Jews, and I'm only quoting part of the verse. I'm only quoting part of that verse. The beginning of that verse says, you worship what you don't know. We worship what we know. So I'm here to tell you today, you worship what you don't know. We worship what we know. You want to know about Jesus? We know about Jesus. We know about Jesus. You worship what you don't know. You're preaching death to Jews. Obviously, you're worshiping what you don't know. It doesn't look like Allah is the greatest of deceivers. But I boned it up really good. Salvation is of the Jews. They're preaching death to Jews in here. You first. Get the life. They tell me to get a life. I have the life. I have Jesus Christ. He said that I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father but by me. You want to come to the Father? There's only one way. That is by Jesus Christ, who was a Jew. Don't know if the camera picked that up. It probably did. Yeah. Some non-Muslims standing up for Muslims. That's why education is so important. Education is important. Because your average non-Muslim thinks they just preach about peace and tolerance for all people. And hey, that's a lofty goal. And I believe there's some Muslims that actually believe that. And hey, hats off to them. But it's not going to save them. It's a great way to live. It's not a great way to die. So, you just do my thing here. It's the most loving thing in the world to tell someone the truth. It's the most loving thing in the world. Tell someone the truth. They might not like it. They may hate you for it. But hey, let's tell them the truth. That's why I'm out here today. Tell you, salvation's not guaranteed in Islam. It is in Christianity. And I'm talking Bible here today. I am not representing any Christian denomination here today. Some denominations are good, some are bad. I think it's too much about division. And I love it when different denominations get together under the banner of the inerrancy of the Bible. I love that. So I'm just out here today with my questions. I'm also a preacher of the gospel. So, since I'm not getting my questions answered, I'll just preach the gospel. And let you know that sin will kill you. Sin's purpose is to destroy you. That's hard to hear. That's hard to hear because we all know, we all can think of things that we have done that we're not proud of. And to think that that's going to buy us a one-way ticket to hell is bad. We don't want to hear that. And it is bad news. It's very bad news. If you've ever told a lie, stolen anything, it's bad to hear that that's going to send you to hell. That's a bad thing.
God loves you, brother.
I know He does. Thank you. Jesus loves me. This I know. For the Bible tells me so. So what do we do about the problem of sin? What do we do about that problem? Some religions claim that if you do good works, they'll cancel your bad works. This gives us some hope. We say, okay, if I can do enough good works, they'll make up for my sins, and then I'll be saved. I will reach salvation. Unfortunately, this does not work. If you're on trial for killing somebody, would you go up to that judge and say, well, look, I know I killed that person, but I'm really a good person. You know, I give to charity. You know, I've done some good things in my life. You know, I've helped my landlady take out the garbage, and you know, I've just given so much money to the poor, and so I think I should get off from this murder because of all the good works I've done. The judge will look at you like you're crazy. He'll say, look, you murdered somebody. You have to pay for that murder. Doesn't matter about how much good you've done, but you've murdered somebody. So unfortunately, the doctrine of good works canceling your bad works doesn't hold water. So what are we left with then? Well, some faiths say, well, our religion says that sometimes God will just forgive sins. He'll just forgive them. Once again, that doesn't make sense. Using my earlier example, if you are charged with murder and you're found guilty, the judge is not going to say, well, look, okay, you don't have to pay for the murder. I'll let you go. That doesn't make sense either. Christianity, our God is a perfect God because your debt for sin has been paid. An atonement has been made for you if you'll accept it. And on that day, you stand in judgment for your sins. Jesus can come up and say, He has accepted my atonement. So then, you will be saved. For salvation is of the Jews. Salvation is of the Jews. You can read it in the Bible, which is written by Jews. Afternoon. Salvation of the Hey, how you doing?
See you again.
All right.
All right. Remember me? I'm the one last time you came in.
Okay, okay.
How's it going?
Going pretty good.
All right. Do you ever want to have anything? Let me help you anything, let me know. Okay?
Well, I mean, I want to know about that sermon that was preached here on December 8th. When they quoted that hadith about the Jews and killing the Jews, and I just wanted an explanation from that. Nobody's talked to me yet about that.
No problem. Let's see if the Imam, the last time you met is here. I'll see if he's here, he can talk to you. But you know, the ceremony wasn't here. It was another place. The ceremony, it was done in North Raleigh.
Okay.
It's not in here.
There's a different mosque.
Yeah, there are 12 of them here.
12.
12, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so this mosque, actually on Facebook, on our website, we had nothing to do
Good
with
stuff.
that.
Is it a different imam?
Yes, so our imam would not say this. Our imam just
Okay.
watched
I hope y'all can pick this up.
it.
I want to make sure I get this. I want to get this on tape
No problem. Okay.
because this is what I've been waiting for. This is what I want to know.
All right, no problem.
Because I received such good treatment last time I was here.
You're still our friend. Still,
Okay.
still good at treatment, my friend. Okay. They told me. I told them I come over here. See, if you go to our website, and you're gonna see an official statement on Triangle area sermon. Okay. A news has calculated blah blah blah, and you say that we have nothing to do with this one at all.
Okay.
Okay, and the person who did it, he's not an IR.
Hadra.
He is not an imam. He's that was speaking.
Circulating online regarding a December 8, 2017 sermon by Mr. Abdullah Kadra at a triangle area
Okay,
mosque
yeah.
with some unfortunate language. This sermon was not held at or associated with the Islamic Association of Raleigh, UTR, and Mr. Kadra is not an employee of UTR. Any media outlets or individuals who have improperly and inaccurately attributed Mr. Kadra's sermon to UTR should immediately retract and correct this erroneous information. To our knowledge, Mr. Kadra has no history of hateful or violence.
Okay.
So there's more in that. And you know us, we are very well. Yesterday we have the triangle faith here, and we have all 11 faith. They were here. I wish you have came yesterday. Have the Gravity, and it was in the news. And we held multi-faith by non-Muslim and everybody.
Okay.
It's about 300, 400 people came all over. Okay.
Okay.
So you're welcome to come inside if you want to. You want to stay here. Everything I do, I just we will try to assure you it's not in this mosque at all.
Okay.
And you are as a wise person, you know there's some verses here and there that he's talking about the day of judgment. The day of judgment, God knows it. I don't dictate on God what to have, what not to do, what to do, what not to do. I know I'm loving everybody, and we care about everybody, and we want everybody to live in peace.
Okay.
All I can be. That's 100%. Okay.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'll go ahead and I got the camera rolling now, so I'll do a full retraction, and I guess I'll just preach the gospel here. You know.
You can.
But I'm glad you came out here, and I'm glad you gave me an explanation.
You still have my name, right? My name and number. I don't have it even here. I will get you. But you know my name and number from last time I gave you.
Okay.
And if you have any question, we are open book here.
Okay. All right.
All right. You take care. And but this khutbah was not given here, which is sermon was not given here. It was given also. He's not an imam. He just was given by a speaker, and we told him that you have to know your crowd. You can sit down with somebody, challenge them with talk, but you cannot speak this one to somebody, knowing the audience could misunderstand it. You know.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And
Well,
if you wanted to come in, and I will be here for a few minutes, then I gotta go pick up my kids. later on you can come in, and if I have Imam, I will come back to you. I'll let you know the Imam is here. You can ask him any question you want.
Okay, okay.
All right, my friend.
I appreciate that.
All right.
Thank you for coming out here.
Your picture of that.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so I finally got my explanation. It appears that that sermon that was taped was not at this building, and not by the imam that's here. Now I'm going to do a little. I'm going to do a little research. I may come back late, when I get home. I'll do some research and kind of double check everything he told me. But like I said, I mean, I'm tempted to believe what they're telling me right now because of the treatment that we received last time I was here. But he told me that the taped sermon was not given by an imam, and it was at a different building than this one. He said there's 12 mosques in Raleigh. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So I'll just retract, what I've said about this particular building. I was asking for answers, and I got my answers. And so somebody's coming by performing. So that's good.
You recording yourself?
Yeah.
Are you doing documentary?
I got my own YouTube channel, EC Street Preacher. Check it out.
Alright.
Okay. Got a free plug there. But anyway, so I just retract my remarks about this particular place. Now that doesn't mean I in any way agree with what was said. And I'm not taking back my remarks about that particular hadith. It is Sahih hadith. And it says what it says. You can look it up online yourself. But as far as my remarks against this place in particular, I take those back. And obviously, if those words that I quoted were not spoken here, then I obviously retract my remarks about this particular place. He's already told me that that person is only a speaker, not an imam. So I retract any references I made to the imam here. And I'm just glad I got an explanation. That's what I was looking for, and that's what I got. Coming out here. So if they offer, I will go in and speak to the imam. I do feel like I need to apologize to the imam, and like I say, this is not in any way any kind of endorsement of the Islam religion, because I'm against that. I do love Muslims, and if I do misrepresent Muslims, I want to make it right. So I'll welcome talking to the imam. I may stay out here and preach a little, and like I say, I'm gonna double check everything. So you'll get another report. But he told me that there was a response made to those remarks, and I commend this place for speaking against those remarks. They didn't exactly say they condemned those remarks, but they said, he said it's up to God, what he wants to do at the end of time. So I guess that leaves some openness there. I'll let you interpret that as you will. I may stay here and preach till the next salat. I'm a preacher of the gospel, so I'm gonna preach the gospel. You know, if I didn't love Muslims, I wouldn't be out here and show them the truth. So I'm going to continue a little bit right here. Glad to get that explanation. I think that, I can't remember his name right now, but I was spoken to, and I'm glad that that sermon that was made was denounced by the leadership here. I commend you for that. So I'm just going to go back to preaching the gospel. That's what I do. And that's a sign of my love for Muslims, to tell you the truth, to show you and tell you about guaranteed salvation. Because that's possible. That's possible in the Christian faith. You have guaranteed salvation. Islam is death and jihad. I'll try to get closer to the camera here. I'm going to move this camera here. Try to make sure everything's picked up. And like I say, if that conversation that I had with the worker here didn't come through, I'll just kind of paraphrase it, but he said, you know, they denounced those remarks. Not a thorough denouncement, they did denounce those remarks. And it wasn't done here, it was done at a different building by someone who was not an imam. Like I say, I'm going to double check all this, but that's basically the gist of it. But apparently they have an announcement that they made on Facebook. I'll go check that out later. We do owe the Jews a great debt, though, in that we have the Bible, Torah and the Gospel, the Psalms, which is recognized in the Quran. Trying to see what happens. Sporadic, you know, every now and then I'll see a lot of people moving around there, and sometimes I don't see anybody, hardly anybody. And there was a lot of cars out here a while ago, and now there's hardly any. So let's talk about Jesus. Jesus, Son of God, he taught that he was the Son of God. And it is a fact that there was a Jesus of Nazareth. Went around teaching, died by crucifixion. I know Islam goes a little different than that. They said he wasn't crucified, he was made to look that way. I'm just going by historical facts. So we know that there was a Jesus. What did he teach? We have 4 Gospels written by eyewitnesses, people that were there when Jesus preached. So when you read those red letters in the Bible, you know that you are hearing the words of Jesus. Eyewitnesses. And I know that's where Christianity and Islam part ways. Is who was Jesus? What did he teach? You know, did he rise from the dead? Was he crucified? I know that's where we diverge. Okay, I'm showing up again. Hello.
Mr. Brown?
Yeah.
Was it Brown? I don't mean to interrupt you or anything like that. But being that I'm responsible for the security over here and all that, and I have to document any kind of thing out of the ordinary that occurs in or around the school,
Yeah.
would it be possible for me to see your ID just so I could take your
Oh, yeah.
information down?
Yeah. Okay, I had to edit that out real quick, just because there's personal information, and I can't have that getting out. I mean, the places I've been and the threats that have been made against me, you know, I keep the personal information out of that. But yeah, you know, cop just, you know, came out, you know, they have to make reports, and that's cool with me, you know. I always cooperate with police, and I know some people look at that and they say, why are you doing that? Don't cooperate with the police, you know, don't do that sort of thing. But there are authorities that have been placed over me, and my Bible commands me to obey those authorities that have been placed over me. Now, if they're asking me to do something against the law or against against the Bible, then of course I'll refuse. But something like showing somebody some ID, I don't see that as shipwrecking my faith.
Are you the news person?
Hmm?
What are you doing? The news?
Oh no, I'm not doing news. Except for good news, the gospel.
Oh, what you doing?
I'm out here preaching.
Oh,
I'm a street preacher. You know Jesus? Oh, good. Make sure he knows you. Kingdom of heaven belongs to such as those. Out here today preaching Jesus. Jesus, who is called Christ. As Pilate once asked, we have to ask ourselves, what shall we do with Jesus? Pilate asks, what shall I do with Jesus? We all have to answer that question. What are we going to do with Jesus? Are we merely going to say that he was a prophet? Are we going to say, as he said, that he's the Son of God? Salvation through his name. Hey,
How are you?
I'm good.
What's up?
Preach the gospel.
Oh, which one? Or is there more than one? I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, it's one gospel. One gospel.
One gospel. What does it say?
Son of God. There's salvation through his name.
We have Jesus in our religion too, but we just don't think he's the Son of God.
Yeah, he's a prophet.
Yeah. Hey! Hi, hello. How are you? I'm Lola. What's up?
It's cold today.
It's yeah, it's too windy. Yeah. So what are you doing here?
Originally I came here because of the remarks made in that December 8th sermon.
Where?
But I talked to somebody here and they said, you know, it wasn't preached here. And I was led to believe it was preached here.
What was
Sounds like part of
preached?
it.
What was it? What were they saying?
That's the hadith in Sahih Muslim, book 41, number 690. Trees and the rocks crawling out. There's a movement.
Okay. Well, stay warm. It's really cold out here. Okay? Yeah. If you want something to drink, there's leftovers. They're out here.
Yeah. Is the Imam going to meet with me, or
Imam he's gone for the
he's
day.
gone for the day? Okay.
If you wanted him, I can call and see if he can come. He comes at 5:30.
Uh-huh.
At 5:30 he comes after 1 hour.
Okay.
You want me to reach him out? If you want to come.
If he's going to be here at 5:30, I can just stay out here, till he gets here.
Yes. I'm going to need you to go out more, okay? All right.
Okay.
It was nice to talk to you.
Uh-huh.
He's fine. He's our friend.
I just want to talk to him because, I made remarks that implicated him in that sermon. And I just wanted to apologize to him for that. So, But yeah, if he's going to be here at 5:30, that's okay.
He's very nice, and he did not. You can go on website and see what we wrote. Okay.
Okay. EC Street Preacher here. Still waiting for the Imam to show up there. I did do some checking into what I was told about the remarks and the person who made them, and they all check out. There was a public statement made by the Islamic Association of Raleigh. They said that they don't agree with the remarks, and they weren't done, of course, in that building. The statement itself makes it, I don't think it was done at any mosque. The statement itself seems to say that the remarks were made by that particular speaker, who's not an imam, but they were made, and they're not associated with Islamic Association of Raleigh. So any past remarks that I've made concerning the imam at that building, I've officially retract them. Like I say, everything pans out. A public statement was made condemning the remarks, and in fact, well, I don't want to really use the repentant word here, but the person who made the remarks has expressed regret that they were taken the way they were, and I really don't understand if there's any other way they could be taken, but they were taken the way they were, and that, they do, at the Islamic Association here in Raleigh, they do preach a coexistence. So that's my official retraction. Love it or hate it, but one of the characteristics of a spiritual pilgrim is a person that swears to his own hurt and changes not. So if I make a mistake, I'm going to correct it. And like I say, I'm just waiting right now to speak to the imam, and I'm just going to apologize to him. And like I say, this doesn't mean that I'm going to become a Muslim. It's just, I did something wrong, and the Bible says you make the mess, you clean it up. So I made the mess, so I'm going to clean it up. And just got a few things to take away from this. I did like the fact that they finally did send somebody to explain what had happened. It still bothered me a little bit about him sending the youth away when the youth wanted to talk to me about Christianity. That still bothered me a little bit. So, like I say, I take things with a grain of salt. But maybe one of them will watch my channel. Because like I say, I mean, my main focus here is to see Muslims convert to Christianity. That's why I come out here. And I made a mistake. I want to correct that mistake. But my main focus here is to preach the gospel. So just wanted to clear that up. Just because I'm making nice with them and apologizing doesn't mean that somehow I agree with Islam. I don't like Islam. Islam is false. Islam is from the devil. So I just want to make that clear. And I wonder if that looks weird. I keep looking this way, but anyway, I just want to make that clear that I'm gonna own up to what and apologize for what I did, but that's in no way an endorsement of Islam. And I don't know if I'll do much with this video after this. I don't know if I'll really preach any more of the gospel. I may just call it here. But, so got another preach planned tomorrow, and I'm going to be speaking on what's happening over the next week, because this is the first day of my vacation, and got a trip planned to Denver and to New Orleans, and I'm just going to speak more on that later. But as for right now, I think I said all that I needed to say, so God bless y'all.